Playing Minecraft without hardcore mode on your phone is almost impossible to survive. The screen is tiny, the controls are clunky, and this Minecraft version is buggy.
What?
So today, I'm going to attempt to survive 100 days Minecraft hardcore mode on my phone. Day 0. Yes, day 0. Bedrock is bedrock though. After all, instead of getting wood, I decided to start by exploring. Eventually, I came across a ruined fort with flint and steel, which I used to gather some early game food, and I accidentally started a wildfire. After that incident, I finally decided to get some wood. Okay, while chopping this tree, let me explain my goals for this video. First, I want to get fully overpowered netherite tools and armor. Second, I want to defeat some of the most overpowered bosses in the game, like Wither and the Warden, and maybe even the Ender Dragon. And lastly, I want to build a massive base, But the problem is, I don't know how to build. And also, I added a role for this challenge. To fully experience the game, I'm not allowed to fight any bosses until my world is past day 50. I'm speedrunning the game and I want to fully experience Minecraft. So that's why. Now that I have a wooden pickaxe, I mined some stone so I could craft my first set of starting tools. After that, I found some copper ore and realized it's actually more useful than before. So I mined it, smelt it, watched the sunset, and go to sleep. So now it's day 1. The first thing I did was turn the copper ingots into copper armor. Now that I have at least a small chance of surviving, I spent most of the day exploring, trying to find a village. Unfortunately, I searched all day and didn't find one. On day 2, I finally decided to try a different strategy. I gathered a bunch of wood and used the tower up method to look for a village. And somehow, it actually worked. I jumped down using a boat, ran straight to the village, and looted everything as I could. After looting it, I spent the rest of my time securing the villagers so zombies wouldn't kill them, since they'll be very useful later on. On day 3, I looked for the place to build my base, and I found this really nice plains biome, which I spent the rest of the day slowly terraforming the area since I only had stone tools, and I really needed an upgrade. Even with just stone tools, I think I actually made pretty good progress in just a day. From day 4 to day 7, I went mining to upgrade my tools and armor, and I almost died because of my own stupidity. So yeah, I spent the 3 full days gathering ores. Here's the quick montage. So now we're on day 8. But honestly, the cave treated me pretty well. I ended up almost a stack of gold, 2 stacks of iron, 56 lapis lazuli, and 22 diamonds, including the one I used to craft a diamond pickaxe. With the time I had left, I gathered some sugarcane before day 9, and then I found something that I didn't expect. A pink sheep, which is very rare. So I quickly trapped it and went to sleep. So on day 9, I quickly checked my chest to see if I had a lead, so I could take the pink sheep back to my base. But when I returned where I trapped it, it had despawned, which made me really sad. So yeah, I went back to the base and started making sugarcane farm so I could craft paper per blocks. After that, I went out to hunt some cows to get enough leather. Now it's day 10, I set up an enchanting area with 11 books, and oh, it offered me a fortune 2 pickaxe at just level 22. So I spent the rest of the day grinding for XP, and this pickaxe is absolutely godly. So yeah, by day 11, I spent the entire day upgrading my enchanting setup to level 30 by adding more bookshelves. Then I crafted a diamond chestplate and leggings, and also I upgraded it with some basic enchants. Day 12, I spent most of the day gathering materials for my starter base, preparing everything I need to finally start building. Yep, that's all I did. From day 13 to day 17, I started to build my starter base. Yeah, it took me 4 in-game days just to build this, because I'm suck at building. So I started something simple but still safe and functional. Since I didn't have the best materials yet, I had to work what I had, which made the process a bit slower. I started with a basic structure, then I slowly added details to make it look better. It wasn't anything too crazy, but honestly for a starter base, it turned out pretty well. On day 18, I realized I still didn't have full set of diamond armor, so I went strip mining and find more diamonds. More diamonds, diamantes, diamondo. On day 19, I was finally fully geared with diamond armor and tools, so I enchanted everything with some basic upgrades, preparing for my first trip to the nether. Yeah, after that, I finally went to the nether and mined some quartz for XP so I could reach level 30. Then I realized that I was already in a warp forest, so I gathered some pearls using my speedrunning skills to farm them efficiently. On day 20, I finally reached level 30, so I went back to my base to enchant my gear. And I actually got really good leggings with protection for an unbreaking tree, which is really good to help me to survive on the nether. On day 21, I started my day searching for a fortress so I could get blaze rods early, and luckily it didn't take a long time before I found one. So I snuck into the fortress and start farming blazes. After getting 8 blaze rods, I explored further to find a bastion, and somehow I actually found one, and this bastion was low-key stacked. I even got netherite upgrade and 2 netherite ingots, but the trade-off is I almost died and nearly ended the entire video. On day 22, I reached level 30 again, so I went back to my base, enchanted my pickaxe with efficiency 4, and then I upgraded into netherite. Now I have an almost perfect pickaxe. On day 23, I spent most of the day chopping down a bunch of trees since I was planning to build an animal farm for sheep and cows. After gathering enough food, I started terraforming the area to make a flat surface for the farm. Day 24, the farm was officially done, and now I need to gather some cows and sheep. So yeah, I spent the whole day just gathering animals. Day 25 to day 26, I just spent the whole time terraforming for my future builds. Yep, that's all I did. On day 27 to day 28, I worked on building farm so I could finally have a sustainable food source. I didn't want to keep worrying about food anymore, so I made sure this one would last. It actually took 2 full days to finish this farm since it turned out bigger than I expected. I also spent some time adding small details and designs to make it look a bit nicer instead of just a basic farm. Day 29, nothing special happened. I just built a pathway to connect everything I had built. Day 30, I start gathering resources because I was planning to build a trading hall. I knew this is gonna be really important, especially if you wanted a better gear and enchantment, so I spent most of the day collecting materials for my build. Alright, from day 31 to day 37, I started building my trading hall. And yeah, it took me 6 days to finish. And the truth is, before I even started, I actually spent around half an hour planning the design in creative mode just to make sure it would look good. But honestly, watching me build for 6 days straight would be pretty boring, so here's the quick montage. Day 38. I needed villagers to finally complete the trading hall, so I went back to get the ones that I had secured on day 2. I thought this part would be easy, but it didn't go as planned. While transporting them, one of the villagers died and the other one somehow escaped and respawned. And I don't know why. Because of that, the whole process dragged on until day 40, which pissed me off. On day 41, the trading hall was finally complete, so I started resetting the villager trades hoping to get mending. And after just a few minutes later, I actually got it. So now we're going to move to the fun part. make them infected. So I did it on day 42. I brewed some weakness potion, turned the villager into zombie, and managed to get mending books for just 1 emerald. On day 43, I added mending to my pickaxe and leggings, then spent the rest of the day gathering wood since I was planning to build a storage area on day 44. Now it's day 44. I just did what I said in day 43. Make a storage area. And after that, I harvested my crops since they were fully grown. Also, I don't know why I planted a beetroot on my farm, so yeah. On day 45, I decided to go explore again, just to see what I could find. While I was out, I came across a villager outpost, so of course, I killed everyone for potion. After that, I kept exploring, and just a few minutes later, I found something pretty interesting. A shipwreck right on the surface. It wasn't the best one, but it's still pretty cool to find. On day 46, I had enough of exploring, so I decided it was finally time to head back to my base. But on the way, something unexpected happened. I ended up finding a wolf. So I decided to tame it, and just like that, I have a new friend. So I called him Wolfie because he's a wolf. From that moment on, he became part of my journey. After that, I finally arrived back at my base and started resetting villager trades until I got protection for an unbreaking tree. And after a few minutes later, I finally found both. On day 47, I turned both villagers into zombies and cured them for a huge discount. But for some reason, the trades were still expensive. So I decided to find another village, and by day 48, I went out exploring and luckily I found one in under an hour. Now it's day 49. I did some deforestation and turned the wood into sticks, and then trade on future villager to get emerald, so I could buy those fruit for books. On day 50, I officially reached the halfway point of the challenge, so I went back to my base with 53 emerald, just enough to buy 2 protection for books. So in day 51, I decided to head into the nether to find the Soul Sand Valley and collect naturally generated bones. And now you might be wondering, why do I need bones? Well, there's a feature in Mirac Edition that isn't in Java. You can use bone meal on sugar cane. This makes farming sugarcane much faster, which I can turn into paper and trade it with the villager for emerald. While exploring the Soul Sand Valley, I found plenty of bones and even spotted a dried ghast along the way. Then after that, I returned to my base and used bone meal on my sugarcane until day 52. Day 53, I went mining to gather more diamonds so I could craft more netherite templates, since I was planning to upgrade my armor to netherite, which it already had protection for and mending. So I spent the whole time searching and mining diamonds. Day 54, I collect a bunch of wool to craft beds, since I really need this to get ancient debris. Then I went to the nether and started bumping method. And in the end, I got 17 ancient debris, which is enough to craft 4 netherite ingots. Day 55, I finally upgraded my armor to netherite and also added the trims that I found on day 45. Now I have a fully overpowered set of protection netherite armor. Day 56 to day 58, nothing special happened. I just spent my time designing my nether portal. Yes, it actually took me 3 days to finish. You know, I'm really stuck at building. But in the end though, I managed to come up something decent. On day 59, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I think I sort all my items and clean my inventory. Day 60, I finally decided it was time to kill the dragon. But psych! I forgot to bring some beds. And the worst part is, I was already in the stronghold. So instead of fighting the dragon, I went back to my base and act like nothing happened. So yeah, I did it on day 61. I went to the end and start fighting the dragon. Day 62, I was still in the end, but this time I searching for end cities to get an elytra. And somehow I didn't just find one, not two, not three, but 5 end cities. I looted everything I could and then made my way back to my base. On day 63, I was finally at my base checking all the loot I got from end cities. I ended up with 5 elytras, a perfect shovel and pickaxe. Also, I got a sword with looting 2 and sharpness 3, so I combined it with another sharpness 3 sword. Now I have a perfect sword for hunting wither skeletons, especially I'm planning to kill the wither. By day 64, I went back to Nether again to get 3 wither skulls, and it took a really long time before I finally got 3. Here's the quick montage. After that, I also collect nether wart and blaze rods, so I could brew strength potions, because fighting the wither on bedrock is no joke. So in day 65, I just spent my time preparing everything I need for wither fight. Now it's day 66. The day has finally come. I start digging 2x1 tunnel in a cave, then I spawned the wither, and this fight was honestly pretty insane. Now I've already killed 2 bosses in the game, and there's only one left, and it's the Warden. So I use Chunk Base, but please don't hate me, I just really need to find an ancient city. By day 67, I went to ancient city to fight a Warden, but I didn't realize it was a big mistake since I didn't have a totem. So yeah, I almost died. So in day 68 to day 69, I spent my time doing a raid to get totems, since the Warden could still one-shot me even I have full protection for armor. I didn't want to take any risk, so I made sure to prepare properly. By the end of the raid, I managed to get 4 totems, which made me feel much safer and ready to fight. By day 70, I went back to the NCT to fight the Warden again, but this time I came fully prepared. And I knew this fight wasn't going to be easy, and this is what happened. Now I finally defeated all the bosses. And it's time for my second goal, to get a full set of netherite tools and armor. And as you can see, I only have full set of netherite armor, not the tools yet. So by day 71, I started my day collect a bunch of wool and turn it into beds. Then I went to the nether to mine ancient debris. In a full shulker box of bed, I managed to get 18 ancient debris, which is enough to upgrade all my tools to netherite. In day 72, I just turned all my tools to netherite, and it's another go complete. So now, I'm gonna focus to build my actual base. Day 73, I focus on making everything sustainable before start building my base. I expanded my farm, harvested already grown crops, and rid all my sheep and cows again to increase their numbers. On day 74, I finally began working on my base, but before building anything, I just spent this time gathering all resources I need to build my base. Day 75 to day 85. Yeah, it took me 10 days to finish building my base. You already know I'm really stuck at building. And also, I didn't follow any tutorials. It was all based on my own imagination, my own creativity, and my persistence. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you the building montage because seeing me struggling in 3 hours straight is pretty boring. Day 86, I finally finished building my base, which means I've completed all the goals for this video, and day 100 is getting really closer. From day 87 to day 92, instead of doing nothing, I realized I didn't have one XP farm yet, so I decided to build one while I have enough time. This farm generates both XP and gold at the same time. And yes, this time I actually followed a tutorial, unlike building my base, which is why I was able to finish it in just 5 days. Day 93, I spent most of the day AFK at my XP farm just to reach level 30, and also repair all my tools and armor. By day 94, I went back to my base to start terraforming a large flat area for a full iron beacon. Yeah, I just spent the whole time terraforming. Day 95 to day 98, I spent 3 days deep in a cave mining because I need 1476 iron for a full beacon. I spent this time properly, making sure it didn't pass day 100. Day 99, I smelt all the iron I gathered and built the beacon. Now it's day 100. Today is the day. I placed the beacon, the final piece of everything I work for. After that, I spent the rest of the day just walking around my world, looking at every part of my base and everything I had built from scratch. Every corner told a story of the grind, the challenges, and the time I invested. And honestly, it was all worth it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and also I made this everything on my phone, even the editing, so I'd really appreciate your support. Thank you.